Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're doing well out there. So in today's video, I want to discuss with you why it is that psychedelics cannot and ultimately will not save you. I know that sounds crazy to say, especially for someone with such a huge personal history of psychedelics and given the work that I do, but I want you to understand that these substances have very real limitations. So in this video, we're going to discuss how that's true and why that's true and what you need to know instead. Welcome back, everyone. So this is one of these things that I wish someone had said to me long ago, or that I wish I knew or really perceived clearly long ago. So I'm just popping on the camera here. I'm just sharing my thoughts. This is something that I want to speak to because I know there are a lot of people out there who are looking at psychedelics and psychedelic therapy and therapists and therapy in general and experts to save them. Okay, now this is part of the issue. This is part of the problem. And so I'm going to do my best here in this video, even though I'm running on 4 hours sleep and my brain's a little wonky. I'm going to do my best here to try to explain to you clearly why this simply ultimately doesn't work. So the crux of the matter is that ultimately, who has the power to heal you, whatever your issue is, whatever is going on for you, who has the power to correct that is no one other than your own deep nervous system, okay? So I want you to wrap your head around this. Your deeper nervous system, which is highly intelligent and highly powerful and has kept you alive all this time and is keeping you alive right now by automatically making your heart beat and making you breathe and all the other incredibly complicated, deep, profound things that it does all the time for you automatically. That same intelligence contains the capacity to heal you. And it is ultimately the arbiter, the gatekeeper, the chooser of whether or not you heal, okay? Now, this is really important to recognize because you need to know where the healing power exists, right? It doesn't exist in a psychedelic medicine. Yeah, psychedelic medicines can be super powerful. They can be profound. They can be deep. They can blast you wide open. They can redefine your understanding of reality completely. They can put you in touch with God. They can absolutely, sure, sometimes unwire things kind of accidentally, and you got a lucky roll of the dice and your brain ended up rewiring itself through happenstance with the journey, okay? So I don't want to underrepresent the power of the medicine because it's significant. Also, well-done therapy and therapists and good know-how can get you really fucking far. I don't want to underrepresent that either, okay? But the reality is, ultimately, if your deeper nervous system isn't ready to heal, doesn't want to heal, doesn't like being on psychedelics, doesn't like a certain therapist you're working with or certain therapeutic approach you're using or whatever, it will shut you down and it will say no. It is the power that decides here, which is rightly so. Each of us has a certain, I would say, kind of inbuilt, life-given capacity for autonomy and for choice and how we use our nervous system that is ultimately under no one else's control but our own, okay? So it's really important to get this because, okay, I want you to see how we end up seeking saviors. Okay, a lot of us are conditioned to follow, first of all, whatever our parents tell us to do, then it's whatever school tells us to do, then it's whatever the media and pop culture and the culture around us says is right and what to do. And we are, broadly speaking, mostly conditioned into being followers and into being consumers, okay, just culturally. I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, that's just kind of the water we're swimming in here. And because of that, that subtly conditions us to place the locus of control, where our sense of power is, outside of ourselves and into something out there that will either make us feel good or make us feel bad, right? We tend to live, especially because of consumerism, in a way where there's a kind of core assumption there that the way to feel good is through consuming something external to us that generates these feelings of feeling good that we, for whatever reason, whether you want to call it a brain chemistry imbalance or a blah, 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 for whatever reason, we can't do for ourselves. Okay. Now, all of that is a massive distortion of the actual lay of the land here, the actual reality of your brain and your body and your nervous system and how it works. And the ultimate form of this, if we're kind of replacing pills and materialism and consumerism of pop culture for suddenly now it's mushrooms and ayahuasca and, spiritual ideas and spiritual, aesthetics and all that, right? All we've done is swapped out the kind of wrapping, the exterior, but the interior, the same structure is ultimately there, at least conceptually in a lot of people's heads. And so I want you to get that, and this is true in my own therapeutic journey. This has been true in my own healing journey. This has been true when I meet other people who have gone on a therapeutic journey or a healing or an awakening journey themselves. What you'll see and hear over and over and over is that ultimately when they've really arrived at lasting well-being, it was something they had to choose and do for themselves. In other words, you cannot be a passive participant in your own healing. You cannot just, be lazy and weak and, just like show up and eat the mushrooms and hope that that's going to fix you. Not at all. My darling, wonderful human being friend out there. That's not how this works. Whenever it happens and you have all the choice and all the time in the world, who is going to save you ultimately is going to be you. And now, having gone through that process, what I'd say to you about that is that's completely right and how it should be. And there's no other way it should be. This is really ultimately a process of you arriving back to your own sense of home in your own skin, in your own mind, in your own nervous system, and correcting whatever has kind of been making you feel out of alignment with that. And so that's really a deep kind of self-relationship thing, ultimately, that nothing else can give for you. It's a choice at some level that we have to make, that we have to choose for ourselves. So, I'm just sharing this because, I don't want to be preachy. I don't want to be too heavy-handed here, but I think it's really important for us to understand the territory of this work properly, to have, the right expectations for what we're about to engage in, and to know where the healing power exists, right? So from my point of view, and this is even true when I say really badass shamans who are incredible at what they do, they'll say the same thing. They'll say, yeah, the medicine has a healing power, the spirits have a healing power. Ultimately, it's you accessing your own healing power, right? Same thing in therapy. If you study a lot of therapy, they will say the same thing. The same thing in psychedelic therapy. They call it the inner healing intelligence. In hypnosis, we call it the unconscious mind. However you want to think of that, there is a healing power inside of you. And, my job as a coach or a therapist's job as a therapist or a shaman's job as a shaman is to help put you in touch with that power and that capacity inside of yourself and help you understand how that works so that you know how to work it so that you can start to progress on that path. Okay. So that's my message to you today. I want you to know, and again, I run the test. I've eaten the psychedelics. I have done the meditation retreats. I've done the ayahuasca. I've done the things, and they did not undo the patterns and make me feel at home in myself in the same way that when I finally understood how to heal myself, where I arrived. Okay. They did not put me in secure attachment, for example. They did not put me in a regulated nervous system that stayed enduringly regulated, for example. Okay. So I want to help you understand how to do this. Okay. This is why I'm making this channel. This is why I'm talking about this at all. So I hope this resonates for you. I hope this hits home. I know this can be disappointing because there's often part of us that is kind of longing for a parent figure to have saved us way back when, who maybe didn't see us or wasn't available or whatever. And sometimes we kind of then project that out onto the world or the psychedelic or whatever more broadly in more kind of general fashion. And we end up kind of looking for that savior in all these other places. Okay. But that isn't truly just because of the raw mechanics of how this works, not where the healing power is. It's actually in your own nervous system. And so if you're ready for that, if you're interested in that, and you want to learn how to start to access your own inner healing, your own ability to heal yourself, if you're clear that even though that might be disappointing, that this is the way it's supposed to be, and that you're going to save yourself, then, click the link down below. Check out my free course, and you'll start to get a sense of how to do that. Join the paid course and the community there. We'll be playing with this on an ongoing basis there. Or just continue to follow these videos and you'll get more and more insights on how to do this. Okay. Much love to you. I hope you're doing well out there. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.